Hi everyone, welcome back. Now this is part 2 of Don't Eat the Cashier. We're going to see our second customer. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelf of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. Oh, he's not just unwell, he looks like hell, literally. All the skin on the left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. Um, this is so funny. How's life, sir? Fucking awesome. Like a fairy tale. Thanks for asking. He will dramatically light a cigarette and stare into the void right now, but it seems he doesn't have the strength for that anymore. But he clearly wants to. I do too, even considering that I don't smoke. This profession is going to drive me crazy one day. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without a half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscle for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client paused again briefly to clear his throat. Let me see what we have. Do we have blood? Yeah, good choice, babe. Step to the storage. Just in case. He suddenly leans forward, worrying into me with his reminding eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. I know. Jeez. A strange pressure builds in my head, and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fucked with something inedible, or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of cells reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. It's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Okay, blood for drink. It's formal section, right? These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscription. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Mmm. Dense energy blocks for chewing. No. I think infuse or food afraid of heat. Blood is usually kept in cool place, right? Cold place? Yeah, the coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerator with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizza are Kremlin syrup capsule, and among the buckets of ice cream, you can find flavors like minty, tritium, and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Uh, I think this one spare part of human organism. This section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. Glass jars filled with murky liquid sits on the shelves, where exhibit fluid. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that reads Kevin. Okay. Check blood of human organism Kevin, tests on fulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectation, or homeless, high content of cheap alcohol, and oh my god, tuberculosis, or Michael, efficient resource and artifact accumulation. I don't understand any of this, but I think this is the best of the three. The blood in this jar has a rich, almost glowing ruby hue. It looks healthy and full of energy. Michael, however you are on top. Champion's blood flowed through you. You were probably something like energy drink for the undead. And yet, here you are in a jar. There is something to wonder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You already? His voice carries genuine surprise and clear relief. Well, good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. My client finished the jar and then grimaced. Oh, for crying out loud. What the hell is this? He reads the note on the jar. Michael, well, you were a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can kill him a second time. There's like a happy family, a successful career, a retirement account, and this year probably never even had cockroaches. Stay silent. Cool that you found human blood. Good job, you're sharp. Glad to please you, sir, and glad you no longer want to eat me. Aha! With that approach to business, you'll go far, babe. I'm going to wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me. He's looking somewhat fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that constipated owl. What? Okay. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. Oh, so he's a vampire? I'm David, by the way. Vampire, as you may have already guessed. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part about the walnut. I'm crystal like champagne. Nice to meet you, Mia. Okay, Mia. I knew a Mia once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. She was a good girl until she got back up. Okay. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. Uh, I suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Check the catalog. Yes, exactly 10 categories. A catalog? Do you seriously have a catalog? Of course. He leans forward, genuinely intrigued, peering into the catalog. Gremlin kidneys? Is that a delicacy? Why does it say both delicacy and full and animal venom? I don't know. I really don't know anything. I'm scared. Don't say that. Because it's a universal product. When so? I do. Looks like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is not to accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Yes. Chupacabra. Hmm. Say nothing. All of this will annoy him, right? And we don't want him to know that we are afraid. Say nothing. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn nuts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely, and does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Yeah, I remember. Uh, don't say that. Let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You what? You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. It's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Okay, we just say this. I gave him a chance to save face. Now we're treating him not because he's a whim, but because he survived an epic battle. A direct blow to his ego. Nico immediately starts puffing up with pride. His eyes light up. Aha, I hope I didn't catch rabies. I decide to remain silent about how he's already pretty rabid. 4 against 1 in narrow alley. You know, there's a myth about werewolves being a damn noble, unlike us bloodsucker. Well, that's a lot of crap. One of them was hiding in a trash can, ready to jump out at me. My heart would have definitely stopped dead, if it even still beat. It would have just ripped apart from a freaking heart attack. I'm afraid I never able to take out the trash can without fearing for my life. Judging by that distant look, he's plagued by a flashback of what he's been through. David awkwardly moves his injured arm. Alright, hand over your first aid kit. I'm sure this won't be the last pack I'll have to take down. There are way too many stray dogs around these days. Go ahead. Get out your bayonets with Dr. Cocula or whatever you are selling. David set his jacket, shirts, and t-shirts, then settles into a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, Grill Fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I don't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading Kit for Alternatively Living Organism. Inside, beside standard bandages, there are some strange items, silver tweezers, vials of thick glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instruction, the first point is take. Determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternatively living subject if they ever want to eat someone's brain. David's clearly not a zombie. Move on to the next point. He glanced skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instruction as I flip it over. Zombies, necromancer, abomination made of bones, flesh, and cabbage swirl in front of his face like a mesmerizing kaleidoscope. And all of these lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use bathrooms now. It would be great if you didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just claw him up, or if he managed to kill someone too? My instinct, something out of the Stone Age, suggests that he could have. This guy has a killer gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? It's simple. You got laceration, claws, teeth, and bits of saliva, possibly very contagious. David listened to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal of valor. David listened to this with the pride. Oh, yeah, okay. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. What does this mean? Wounds from a real rabbit beast, buddy. I am dying of laughter, okay. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor, but I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker, he's a true gladiator, having survived a battle with rabbit beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through that what medication I need to grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. Now all that's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers in a jar and suddenly he grabs my hand. Do something wrong and I'll rip your tonsils out through your... Okay, stop that. I know you're pathetic, miserable, harmless cashier. Allow me to do my job, sir. I will be extremely careful. The praise of any faceless reputation of the service sector, my perfect shield against the surrounding world and true root vampires that inhabit it. Watch yourself. You won't get a second chance. Okay. No, not my vampire doctor's license. I apply this black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm, not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. Be more careful. My movement becomes slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscle in his back and shoulder relax slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Naturally, no thank you or please for him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. Just finish your dark word in silence. I'm afraid to annoy him further. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? For the tip, of course. The question is asked in a astonishingly serious tone. He's driving me crazy, even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. Yeah, I just want to help. Like, want tips and to go home, play The Sims, and watch stupid shows. That's the truth. You are a mercy from the dirty gas station. Let's just say this. These are my war obligation. If it weren't for them, I won't bother with you. He sighs in relief. Just moments ago, his worldview was practically shaken, but I put everything back in place. That's what I thought. What a pity you still have to do your job. And just 5 minutes ago, this ape didn't even want to get treated. He cleared his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such word. I'm even afraid to breathe. So I don't scare off this rare exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I won't be surprised if that's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds and he back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, clean and healed, and yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter. And the tip jar is lacking. Oh no! I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in the dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Hmm. Can I do anything else for you, sir? This seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you can do something. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder by regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or tipping gnome? Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray color? Does your face always look that funny when you are thinking about something? What? I don't even get a chance to respond to his chat before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you are now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. Hmm. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than sappy movies for girls. Looks like you watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones Dr. Burrow couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity, literally. Seems like I already have one of their sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there's those who can make your head explode, literally, with just a glance. But not all of us are such weak bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat, just drink a little instead of corking yourself like a pig at the trough. But some don't care, they just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensic team is baffled why the person turned into sprinkle before dying. Oh my god. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. And and which objects do you have? I got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. Never get tired. You can party all night long. Okay. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs, that might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny patty. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. Feel everything, you see everything, you can hear a rabbit a block away. Stay silent, let him come to you. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. Are you sure the last one is due to your vampirism and not just because they're scared you will beat them up? David lets out a sharp, raspy laugh. You're right. Most law-abiding citizens avoid me by 100 miles. It's a working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a subtle approach, you know. The word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that is what they want. They don't even realize they're just vampires now. Yes, I think I get it. You pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connection and age-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion are the best foundation for a strong friendship. I can enchant friends for myself. Wonderful. For my someone give me their wallet. Let's out a quiet chuckle. Well, not exactly friends, more like underlings. You can hatch all sort of cunning plans with human politician or pain or red. The last part sounds like music to my ears. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Okay, let's back to the question. Should I say this? Why did you watch Twilight? I have no idea what to talk about. I don't watch evil crap. I hold a dramatic pause. If it looks like a concert animal, he stares at the floor and the ceiling anywhere but at me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh, filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it. Alright, I watch everything. All Twilight movies. Watch The Lost Boy, Interview with the Vampire, Blade. That is good. I love Blade. The idiot who beat me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like, don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had clue, you know, hidden in all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullshit. I read legends, searched for info online. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away, but sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies, one or the other. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. Just hold back. I have more questions. Weakness. Well, no more tanning, no reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? Okay. You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier. Depends on the situation. Steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite a challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite a challenge actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation, no need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. And who were you before the bite? He opens his mouth ready to tell me off or mention something about buds again, but stopped himself. Probably his thank you sealed our fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's probably not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was a nobody. I was just surviving as everything went to hell, unlike all those bastards born with a silver spoon up their ass. You ever see those happy American families in TV commercials? They sit at the table with a bowl of salad, smile like idiots, and they always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was a smack on the head. He didn't teach me how to shoot properly, though. I left my family dumb early. It's really dumb. But I thought I'd start a band and become a rock star. But as they say, wish in one hand, shoot in the other. See which one feels a lot faster. At first I worked whatever I could. Then some guys to do some shady stuff with. There are many ways to make a living in Los Angeles area. Can't exactly work the cash register, right? David Chepskin, but without malice, the antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes. But it hasn't affected me yet. I wonder why. Hmm, make no comment. That's it, that's the whole story. What about you? Oh lord, this is my chance to make up something cool or just tell it like it is. Just tell it like it is. I have a single apartment family and art degree. No dog. You listen to how I end up in this dump about my job search and everything else. I didn't sell drugs in Alice, but it seems we still find common ground. Got it, you're not in your element. David truly understands. Neither he nor I want to end up where we are. Neither of us knows what to do next. And we both love cheap noodles. But he can't eat them anymore. I win. You can't? You can't, huh? You must be tired of this draw me request, huh? I will draw you. Oh, like a friend's girl? His dress looked nonchalant, but his eyes showed he's interested. Go ahead, I love beautiful doodles. He said the word doodles with such strange tenderness that it sounds more like a compliment than an insult. I pick up a pencil. Just as he is, he never saw himself right. Wow, what a face! I almost forgot what I look like. Bags under my eyes like a junkie. Silence hangs in the air while David examines the drawing. He clearly doesn't know how to react to this unexpected little act of normalcy. Looks cool. The last words are spoken in barely audible, almost reverent whisper, unlike anything I've ever heard from him before. Two simple words, said with all the sincerity this guy can muster. I can do something too. David takes the pencil from me and, with deep concentration, almost sticking out his tongue, scribbles something. A few minutes later, a drawing appears before me. Aww! I never would have thought this guy was capable of that. He could at drawing, wow! You draw better than me, and I have an education. Come on, it's nothing. I'm not much of an artist. I was into a bit when I was a kid, comics, all that stuff, nothing serious. I take the drawing for myself. Alright, where we are. David looks at me expectantly. A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire. Who vamped you? He doesn't answer right away, just furrows his brows. Several long minutes pass in silence. Some old stinging jerk. A lot is mixed into those 4 words. It's as if he both hates and mourns the old jerk. Probably that guy wasn't a contender for Father of the Year. I wait for him to continue, but he remains silent. He looks like an angry cornered dog. It's unlikely he'll speak up on his own. Hey. Okay, I have one question. I think that's all. Excellent. He leans in a little closer, and suddenly we hear a wolf howling. Look at him, he's so tiny. I don't even have to blink before David vanishes. Now his little bed hiding behind the counter. His sacrifice. Listen up, don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you will feel incredibly shitty. Okay, the threat in his voice is completely lacking. Mostly because this voice now comes from very small, true, angry bad. Oh, werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. Okay, let's see. The creature steps inside. Oh, good evening, ma'am. Why he's so cute, lol. A low, rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? Oh my god, I want. No. Stay focused. I'm listening, sir. Apologize for the sudden intrusion. Edward, you just you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them, well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker offered the other when he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seems parricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, ma'am, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood, like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality, and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So, I would be extremely grateful for any help. Oh, my head is so cute. I can't. Oh. Blackmail David slowly glanced at the tip jar, then briefly with David's eyes, hinting he's also tip. Ah. The bat nervously swallows and slowly nods his head. You really understand my threat. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines my can't speak. Closely, he probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay. If he shows up, give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good night, man. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out his hiding spot. He throws a few bills into the jar. Yay! Here's your damn money. Choke on it. He leaves without saying goodbye. Aww. I can tell if he's mad because a mortal swindled him like a sucker or because I saw him at a moment of weakness. Will his fragile ego survive this blow? Maybe I'll find out. Either way, there's one less vampire at the gas station. Another satisfied customer. I survive another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Whipping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the groans of gravel outside. Oops! Oh, this is definitely not another vampire. And this is definitely the end of the video. I'm sorry, guys. I'll see you on the next part for this new guy here. Bye!